All right, let's talk about England because we are cooking at the minute. Tuchel looks like he's got England playing like a proper football team for the first time in God knows how long. No goals conceded in the entire group stage of the World Cup qualifiers. Tons of goals and actually looking like a fluid team. Actually looking like a decent team despite lots of the usual big names being out of the side. Foden, Rashford, Bellingham, Alexander-Arnold. Who's the other one that I'm thinking of that's not in there as well? There's another one. It's not Foden, it's not Bellingham. There's another one as well. But they've all been out. A lot of those big names that everyone's expecting to be in the team, not even in there. Obviously, there's a few other legacy ones as well, which were in the team. But people saying, on paper, one of the worst England sides that they've seen in recent years, in theory. But in practice, the team is functioning really well. Everyone's got their own defined jobs. Everyone seems to know what they're doing. And not only that, the team is actually scoring lots of goals and playing fluid, nice to watch football, which is actually an incredible rarity because as we know from the Euros with England, was it last year? Jesus Christ. We scraped through some games in that competition, didn't we? And it was not pretty. England do tend to get a result in competitions. We have done fairly well under Southgate, but God damn it, we did not play any of that nice eye-catching football that we've potentially started to be playing recently. And I think it all comes down to the philosophy of Tuchel. He's not picking those superstars particularly, is he? He's obviously trying out a lot of different players, a lot of new players in the squad, a lot of new players in the starting 11 as well. And it's really, really interesting how well the team is functioning where we're actually playing players in their position. Would you believe it? It's as if we have finally learned from the era of Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, Beckham midfield that doesn't work because they're all playing in this, trying to play the same position, all out of position all over the midfield. It's as if we might have actually learned from some of our mistakes and stopped playing 10 players that all want to... Cole Palmer, that was the other one. I've just remembered. Cole Palmer, Bellingham, Foden. All of them basically should just be playing the 10 and we should have had proper wingers. As we know, we have seen how well the team has functioned when everyone's been playing in their actual positions. Elliot Anderson, by the way, I'm a huge fan. He might be my new favourite player. He's not the most eye-catching, incredible footballer ever, but goddamn does he make the team function well. He actually allows Rice to play a bit further up the pitch. He's really good at breaking up the play. He can actually receive the ball on the half-turn and actually turn with the ball, play out from the back, take the burden off of the midfielders a bit more so that Rice can get up the pitch a bit more. We've also got Morgan Rogers, who seems like a bit of a revelation for England, playing so good for England at the minute. It's actually pretty untrue, to be honest. I think he's a really, really good fit. Loves to do a bit of running, good on the ball, good in between the lines. But we're not just playing loads and loads of 10s and hoping that they work on the wing. Foden always playing on the left wing, but never actually working. We've actually got Gordon out there, who's a proper winger. He actually takes his man on, cuts inside, scored a goal, doing exactly that against Latvia. Overall, looking really, really positive. Playing not the superstar people that you would be expecting England to be playing, although obviously they're probably going to feature at some point going into the bigger tournaments. But you can see Tuchel's philosophy. He's not necessarily just playing those big players. He wants to make an actual team that functions. And being a Liverpool fan, this actually reminds me of when Klopp first came into the club. And he didn't go out and go, I want to spend £100 million and buy one really superstar player. He actually went and he spent like 30 million on Mane, 30 million on Salah. Was it 30 million on Firmino? All these players were not superstar players when they came in by any stretch of the imagination, although they did have good potential. But he just bought players and played them in their positions and made a good team overall. None of the players in that Liverpool team from 2018-2019 were really superstar players when they came in. Obviously, they've become superstars now because of how well they've all done. But when Van Dijk came in, obviously he came in for a big fee, but he wasn't a superstar. No one was going, Van Dijk from Southampton's the best defender in the world, as he probably is now. Obviously, Salah, when he came in, he was just like basically like a 10 goals a season winger from Roma. No one really cared. But we can see Klopp, the philosophy was bring players in, make a team that works cohesively together. Good players that will work for each other, run for each other. A good cohesive unit that can press, that can defend well. And that's exactly what we've seen from Tuchel's England. They've done exceptionally well at defending. They don't look like conceding any chances at all, really, apart from maybe a few transitions, which in fairness, they've defended really well. Thinking of that Quansah one-on-one where he clipped the ball away from the defender and did really well. So there's many, many instances of how Tuchel has managed to put his stamp on this England team. And he's actually took a few of the superstars out of the team. And it's working really well for him. Obviously, a big decision not to take Foden on this camp. I think Alexander-Arnold and Bellingham, both in fairness, have been injured. They'll probably be in the squads, but I mean, judging by how we played, I wouldn't be questioning any of what Tuchel's doing, to be honest, because he clearly knows what he's doing. He's trying to build a proper, solid, cohesive team that can attack and defend. Defending, we look really solid. We also look like we're in control of games now. There were so many times under Southgate where it just felt like we were kind of hanging on for a while, or we couldn't get a good proper foothold in games and really play football like we wanted to. But I think that particularly, as I said before, the Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice kind of pivot situation is really, really working for us really well. I thought Saka was okay. He wasn't absolutely unbelievable. I thought Madueke was pretty unbelievable when he played in the last international window. Obviously, he's been injured as well. But it looks like Tuchel wants to play proper wingers. And I think Kane as well has actually really benefited from this. Knowing that he plays for Munich and he has for the past few seasons. Having Elise and now Luis Diaz on the left side of him. He's used to having those wingers that are high velocity. They want to run up and down the pitch. They want to get balls in behind. They want to run at attackers. And I think Kane, that way that he drops in deep. When we had, Foden and Palmer as our two wingers, it just didn't suit him at all dropping in. They would be coming short as well. Everyone would be coming short. There'd be no depth in behind, no width, and no running in behind. Sometimes you just want to play that little pass in behind to stretch the game. Rashford, I thought, looked really good when he came on as well, and for all credit to him. I think he's looked revitalised going to Barcelona, to be honest. I've seen plenty of clips of him looking really good. And I said it to my dad. We were watching the game together, right? I was sat right here watching the game. And I just turned to him and I said, I think this England team's doing really well because they've actually just finally learned that you can't just throw like 10 superstars into a team and expect to win games and be a cohesive unit. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you play 6 attacking footballers as your front 6 and a back 4, there's going to be no cohesion, is there? And it reminds me so much of that Lee Carsley game where he tried to play, was it like Palmer, Saka, 2 forwards, Watkins, like Anthony Gordon. We played so many attacking footballers and it did not work at all. And then at half-time he changed it a bit and it worked a bit better because he put some actual midfielders on. But overall, my thoughts on this, I think Tuchel is doing a great job. I'm getting more and more excited as time's gone on. Everyone who first came in thinking, the football's a bit boring, everything's a bit... But it takes a bit of time, doesn't it? They only get like a certain amount of time with them, maybe like a week, 2 or 3 training camps per international window. He's only going to have like 10, 15, 20 camps with them maximum before they go to the World Cup and play in the World Cup because we have qualified now officially. So it's going to be really interesting. But I think Tuchel has definitely got them going in the right direction. All the players look bright. They look hungry. They've got loads of energy. They're all running for each other. They're pressing really well. They look like they all know what they're doing. They're in good positions. They're covering for each other. When one of them jumps out, there's some good cover there. All the players just look really, really confident and cohesive, which I think is the sign of playing them all in the right position for the first instance, because the amount of times where we'd be playing players out of position, thinking that we could get away with it, and really we just can't. Playing people in their preferred positions will always lead to a better result, in my opinion. Even if the team overall doesn't look like the superstar, like the mega collection of superstar England players, it just doesn't matter. If they're all playing out of position, they're all going to be uncomfortable. And I just felt like Tuchel really, really nailed that idea with Latvia. Absolutely amazing setup, amazing performance, really good lineup. Completely in control of the game for basically the entire thing, apart from maybe 1 or 2 transitions. Really, really solid. Pickford basically fell asleep, didn't have to do anything. Overall, just looked really, really good. Attacking wise, looking like it's really starting to come together as well. Very dangerous, getting in down the sides, crossing the ball in. Obviously, Kane looks like a threat as always. Finding players in the right areas as well. Overall, chef's kiss. It looks really, really good. Very promising going forward into the World Cup. Hopefully we can see some more of this in the next few international breaks before we go and do that. overall, I'm really, really pleased with how the setup's looking. And I think it's very, very interesting to see how we're going to do in the World Cup if we can get these kinds of results going against some of those higher up in terms of quality teams. Obviously, we're probably going to start conceding a few goals. But I think we have got the goods and just that cohesion and the way of playing now that looks like we've got a bit more nous. Lots of squad players coming in as well. All look like they really added to the team as well. I thought Henderson still looked like a pretty good player, to be honest. I think he had like 100 touches in 20 minutes, which is pretty cool. Overall, we've got really good players. It looks like he's finally playing players in their right positions. Under Southgate, the amount of times where you just see amazing players and they're played out of position and they look uncomfortable, as you would imagine. But it looks like we're finally starting to get those wingers coming in, which I've been dying for. Players that can go in behind. Gordon looked really good in that game, I thought. Saka, I'm never convinced with Saka. I've just never really rated him. I think that's probably just a me problem. Obviously, I know that he's a really good player. But I thought Madueke looked far more effective. I think he could well play, to be honest, when he's fit. Over Saka, potentially. Madueke looked absolutely unplayable in some of those previous games. But overall, England looking really good. Very promising for the future. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like and subscribe, leave a comment as always. Do you think England are looking good? What do you think is going to happen next? And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.